Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I don't typically upload on these days, but today is National Pizza Day, so I had to do a video for today. You guys know me in the National Food Days. I have to always do them. So, for today's mukbang, I made a vegan white pesto pizza because somebody requested I do a pesto pizza and I thought that sounded really good. And then I have some vegan ranch down here to dip it in. And then I have another pizookie. This one was also requested. Somebody requested that I try making a pizookie with gooey spread in the center, which is like a vegan Nutella. I tried it in a few taste tests back and it's really good, so that's what I did. This is just a normal pizookie with vegan Nutella or gooey spread in the center and then some vegan vanilla bean ice cream on top. And I'm so excited. I'm just gonna start eating because I'm just so excited. That's it. Okay. Oh my gosh. There's the gooey spread. Ugh, this is so good. Oh, and also for today's mukbang, I asked you guys on the YouTube community tab what some of your pet peeves are, and so I'm going to be reacting to those because I've gotten a few requests to do another pet peeve video, but I feel like they're kind of just negative videos and I don't really like them, so I didn't really want to do another one with my pet peeves, but I kind of wanted to react to your guys's because I feel like that's kind of less negative. I don't know what my reasoning was. I feel like I'm not the only one who gets upset about things, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just decided to take my lipstick off. It was too much of a hassle trying to get good bites, but also try and keep my lipstick on. I just want to enjoy the food. This ice cream is so good. Super refreshing. Okay. Brooklyn Barnett said, people who don't use their dang turning signals. Girl, I feel you. Oh my gosh. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. When people don't use their blinker when they're turning somewhere, it gets me so upset. Oh no. So actually, I was on a walk the other day and I was coming up to this neighborhood, and because it was about the time that people would get home from work, there were a lot of cars. And I was walking to pass the neighborhood, so where the cars were turning in, I was going to cross the street. And I saw this car coming and they didn't have their blinker on, and so I kept walking because I thought they were going straight, and they started turning into the neighborhood and they almost hit me. And I was like, excuse me, first of all, pedestrians have the right of way, but second, you didn't have your blinker on, so how was I supposed to know you're going to turn? Anyway, so it gets me really, really upset. So I totally agree with you. I also have some root beer to drink. Wow, it's been a long time since I've had root beer. Not my favorite, but I wanted soda with my pizza because I feel like that's a vibe. Anyway, I'm gonna try this pizza now. I'm so excited. So literally for the crust, I bought some vegan pre-made crust, and then I added on vegan cheese, mozzarella cheese, some vegan parmesan, and then this homemade vegan pesto. It was my first time making this vegan pesto, so I hope it's good. Wow. It's good. It's a kale cashew pesto. The crust is not bad either. Emily Rose said, people who interrupt and just don't listen. Okay, same. Typically, younger boys will do this. I have many brothers, so I can attest to that. So when it happens to me, yes, it can be frustrating. But when they do it to my mom, and I'm like witnessing the whole situation happen, it makes me so upset. Especially because my mom is so amazing and she does so much for them. And so when they interrupt and just don't listen to when she's talking to them, I'm like, dude, that's the last way you should be treating her. So it gets me really upset. So I totally understand that one as well. Especially if I'm trying to talk to someone and they just keep interrupting. A lot of the time that makes me feel like they think I'm inferior or not worth their time because they're not even listening to me. And they just keep interrupting to talk about what they want to talk about. And that's fine. Like, if you want to talk about something, that's completely fine. And I'm so willing to listen, and I love listening, and it's not a bad thing. But if I'm trying to tell you something and you just keep interrupting, that's super disrespectful and very unfair. So I can totally understand how that's frustrating because I've dealt with it and sometimes still deal with it, so. I was trying to put the pesto on top, but because I put the vegan parmesan on top as well, the pesto is not sticking. So if you can't tell, I had to like blop it on there. It's still good, it just didn't look as pretty as I was hoping for. Tina W said people who text and drive. Girl, for sure. Not only is that breaking the law, but so many accidents are caused from people who are texting and driving, and I have had multiple experiences where I've almost gotten into a car accident because other people have been on their phones while they're driving. And I've had close people to me almost get in car accidents because of that as well. So just, I understand, okay, if there's an emergency or you're running late or you're just trying to keep in contact with someone, I understand needing to text them, but not while you're driving. I cannot emphasize that enough. Yeah, definitely a pet peeve. That's a small piece. I want me a big piece. Yeah. Life with Guinea Pigs said, hair on the face. Especially when I'm trying to do something and my hair just keeps getting in my face. I love my hair, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love it. And because I have long hair, that kind of predisposes me to getting hair in my face. But sometimes, even when I put my hair in a ponytail like this, if I bend over, it will go in my face. You know, once or twice it's fine, but if it keeps doing it, in the middle of me doing something, I get angry. You don't want to be around me when that happens. Night Mime said, when people stare at me while I eat, lol. Me too. So it's gotten better, actually, ever since I started doing mukbangs. Because technically, all of you guys are staring at me eating right now. But also, it kind of depends on the person as well. For example, if it's a little kid that I don't know, or someone I don't know, usually little kids, I'm like, do I look stupid or something? You don't have to look at me, you can tell me I look stupid, okay? But like, let's say it's my sister or one of my family members or friends, I typically don't get super upset, especially because they never really do stare at me. And when they do, it's usually when they're thinking about something, or like, you know, when you're thinking about something and you're just like staring off into space, or sometimes it feels really good when you're just zoning out. So Maylee and I call those feel good stares, and we've called them that for the longest time, ever since we were kids. And so it's funny because sometimes I will say that to people. I'll be like, oh, sorry, I just had a feel good stare, and they're like, what? And so I have to explain it to them. But when I'm zoning out and it feels good, I call it a feel good stare. So sometimes that will happen to Maylee, and she'll have a feel good stare on my face, and I'll be like, hello? Just, she'll tell me, she'll be like, I have a feel good stare on your face, hold on. Don't move or else it's gonna go away. But anyway, let me just get back on track. Yes, I don't like when people stare at me when I eat. If it's someone I don't know, or if it's a kid who's staring at me for I don't know why. It just is uncomfortable. This kind of goes along with the last one. Sarah Emmons, she said, people crowding around me while I eat. I don't know why, but lately, I guess not lately, it's just happened a few times over the past few weeks, but if I'm in the kitchen ready to make lunch or something and there's a bunch of people in the kitchen, oh boy, it stresses me out. Not only am I trying to do stuff and people just keep getting in my way, but I don't want to get in other people's way, and so then that stresses me out. And then when I go to sit down to eat and it's crowded, I kind of just feel claustrophobic, especially because the table I usually eat lunch at is our kitchen table. We have a dining room table and then a kitchen table, and the kitchen table is small. And so if there are a bunch of people sitting at that table, I feel like I have to eat like this, and it's just so uncomfortable. So yeah, that's definitely one of my pet peeves because it stresses me out. But also, like I said, I don't like getting in other people's way. And so if there are a lot of people at the table, I feel like I'm just in their way when I go to sit down to eat. You know? Because like I feel like I'm just adding more. I don't know. And I know they probably don't even realize and don't even care anyway. But my anxious, overthinking brain makes me feel that way, so. Whoopee. Night Mime also said, when people judge what I'm eating. So, being vegan, I'm constantly questioned about what I'm eating, which is fine, and I love sharing what I'm eating because I show people that you can eat fun food being vegan, and I just love sharing that. But there are some times when I feel like it's just hardcore judgment, but I have to remember that usually judgment, like when I think that people are judging me, they're not. Because ever since I was a teenager, I've assumed a lot of people don't like me when that really wasn't the case. And that's just made people think that I was super mean because I was shy. So it's created a lot of just trash water mishap in my life. Just bad stuff. And situations that wouldn't have happened if I didn't assume. So I've been working on trying not to assume things, but sometimes I just totally feel like people are judging me or judging what I'm eating, especially because I'm vegan. They're like, that can't be good. I'm like, try me. Anyway, but yes, I totally get that too. Okay, Kira McNamee, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. She said when someone uses the letter K in a text or message. So the reason why I'm laughing at this is because I understand why that would be a pet peeve. Because when someone just uses K, it kind of sounds like they're being dry or they're mad at you for some reason. Which is not the case because the reason why I'm laughing, every time I'm texting my mom, she uses the letter K all the time. And sometimes I look at it and I'm like, did I do something? But knowing my mom, the most kind-hearted, unassuming, unjudgmental person ever, that is not what she means by it. She literally texts K because she doesn't want to have to type out okay. And so I just think it's funny because my mom uses K all the time. But I totally can see how that's a pet peeve as well. When the TV is on when I'm eating, and then in parentheses, I like to eat in peace and silence. I'm not the same way. It depends on my mood. And it also kind of depends on what the person is watching. But typically it doesn't bother me that much because sometimes it's on and I'll watch or I'll listen while I'm eating. I won't necessarily watch, but I'll listen. But if I'm in an irritable mood, I can definitely see that being a pet peeve. Like, that has been my pet peeve in the past, especially because it can be a very bad habit to watch something while you're eating because you can't mindfully eat. And so then you're kind of just eating a bunch of food and not really enjoying your food. And that's not the case for everyone. I just know that I've had a past of doing that, and so I typically don't like watching something while I eat. But it's not a pet peeve of mine. But I can totally understand how it's a pet peeve, because it was a pet peeve of mine at one point in my life. So, Nuha left me a lot. I'm only going to read one of them, because the first one, they said, when people leave the lights on. And they said, I love you at the end. Aw, I love you too. When people leave the lights on, or the fan, like ceiling fans on, when they're not in the room. Because you're not in the room, so you're not utilizing the energy and the money that's being spent on that light being on, or the fan being on. So, yes, same. Harold SHSH said, when you're talking and you forget what you're about to say, so you keep thinking about it. Oh my gosh, same. I get so frustrated at myself when this happens, which is kind of unfair because it just happens. But I'll be thinking about something that I want to say to someone, and then I forget what I wanted to say, and then I can't stop thinking about trying to remember what I was going to say. I think that's what you meant. If not, I'm sorry, but that's my understanding of what you said. And that really frustrates me. Because then I feel like I can't move on with my life. So it can be very frustrating. Valentina said, when people are rude to waiters or hospitality workers. Okay, that's not necessarily a pet peeve. What kind of is a pet peeve? But that makes me so mad, because these people are working here for you. They're working to either get food for you or to help you shop for something. I don't know. And then people are just rude to them. And I'm like, dude, they're human too. So you technically have no right to treat them like this. But it's just so frustrating that people feel like they have the right to treat others that way. It makes me really sad. So that's probably a pet peeve of mine too. Darcy Marie TCB said, when someone leaves the toilet seat up or puts the toilet paper the wrong way. Same. She said it's supposed to go over, not under. Which, that's not necessarily a pet peeve of mine. It just kind of bothers me when I see it the other way. I feel like it's common sense to have it on the top, the toilet paper roll. So, and then she also said, also when someone burps out loud, especially at the dinner table, also someone who chews loud. Totally get the chewing loud one. And sometimes I do it and I don't realize it, but when it's just consistent, just the constant smacking sound, ugh. You probably don't realize you're doing it, but still. Now, for the burping out loud, sorry. I do that all the time. I grew up with 3 younger brothers and a crazy dad that I love so dearly, and I burp out loud all the time, so I'm really sorry. I don't usually do it at the dinner table, and if I do, I try my best to close my mouth, but if I accidentally burp out loud at the table, I will apologize, because I do get how that can be disrespectful, but sorry, I burp out loud all the time, so it's not necessarily a pet peeve of mine, but I do understand how it could be a pet peeve, because it can be disrespectful, so. Okay, this is probably going to be the last one because I'm really full. Donna Kay said, people who eat with their mouth full. So, I don't know if you meant talking with their mouth full. Excuse me, hold on. I don't know if you meant talking with your mouth full or if you meant like eating with your mouth full. Because eating with your mouth full of food is not a pet peeve of mine. necessarily because I love to get a big bite so I can taste all the flavors. I don't know, I just enjoy food more when I take bigger bites because I can taste it better. But if you mean talking with your mouth full of food, I am guilty of doing this pretty often, but I try my best to either cover my mouth or to make sure that I don't have a ton of food in my mouth when I talk with food in my mouth, because I do see how it can be a pet peeve and it can be disrespectful and rude, so I get that one too. Anyway, this is gonna be my last bite. Alright you guys, that is the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for sending in all of your comments and your pet peeves. I think this was really fun, just reacting to your pet peeves and relating to you guys, because some of you guys have the same pet peeves I do, and I thought I was the only one, so thanks for making me feel not alone. I love you guys. I hope you enjoy some pizza today on this National Cheese Pizza Day. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!